Hi everyone. Sorry I didn't get around to a SmackDown video, but I'm going to talk a little bit about Raw today. I've got my Undertaker vest on. You can see it says the Phenom. It's got a skull with corns and a T symbol. I've done my makeup and hair a bit like Alexa Bliss back in the playground days. And I've got my Lily doll out that I've had for a while. Look at her cute little smile. She's got big button eyes, pink and blonde hair, cute little ovals. Hey, hi, Lily. Alright, let's start talking about what happened on Raw then. It kicks off with Jey Uso coming out, bigging himself up to win the Money in the Bank match. Chad Gable eventually comes out. He also is bigging himself up to win the Money in the Bank match. He actually says to Jey Uso at one point that yeet is not a word. There's also bringing up of the Wyatt family. He says to Jey Uso, which is a very interesting point, why are the Wyatts going after me and not after you? Because you claimed the Fireflies. As people remember, the Fireflies is what the fans with the phones lit up in the dark used to be called for Bray Wyatt, and he did claim him for a little while. But Jey Uso does respond by saying, I actually gave them back. I don't want the Fireflies. But you abandoned you've been horrible to your family. This gets on to something that happens later, quite interestingly. So the lights do go out. Chad Gable starts trying to back off and he realises what's happening when the piano music from Shatter is playing in the background. But everywhere he turns, there is a member of the Wyatt Six. And eventually we see Nikki or Sister Abigail give another box to the commentators. Michael Cole says it's another VHS that says Play Me, and it's done later on in the night. It's Uncle Howdy and Bo Dallas again. It starts off with Bo Dallas looking a bit emotional when he's like, how long we're going to keep doing this? I'm assuming he means these therapy sessions or whatever is happening here. Why are we here? That's probably referring to the fact they're in the Firefly Funhouse. And they notice it's a blacked out Firefly Funhouse, and people think this is to do with the fact that Bray isn't there anymore. So he's getting asked questions by Uncle Howdy. It comes down to him saying he was destined to do this. Uncle Howdy asks him if he thinks he's special. He responds by saying the word special would imply others are not. So I'm wondering, I don't think Bo thinks he's special from that response. He don't want to use the word special. He says him and the rest of the gang were forgotten and abandoned. And Uncle Howdy's like, there you are. He seems quite sinister. When asked how he got them to join, he just says they were willing. They were like playing the hands of the potter, then bringing the puppets to life. So we're going to see what's happened with the puppets. So we're going to see the little puppets again at some point. Is the Firefly Funhouse going to come alive again? I think he refers to Chad Gable here. After he says he gave them a family, he says they are false prophets, belittling their family for their own gains, and they need to pay for their sins. So it's kind of like what I was saying the other week. He's probably gone after Chad Gable because of the way he's been treating his own family, his Alpha Academy. Bo Dallas says, I am the voice of the reckoning. But Uncle Howdy's like, I am the reckoning. They're going to sync here. They say, I am nobody, I am all of us. I set them free. I freed them from the cave. I gave them a family. At one point, Howdy disappears. Bo Dallas is still there. Says I set them free, and then at that point, Bo Dallas disappears, and Uncle Howdy's there. So it seems whether they were the same person or not last week, they have joined as one by the look of it. Uncle Howdy's perhaps Bo Dallas's darker persona, kind of like he was for Bray Wyatt. He brought out the Fiend apparently. A lot of people saying, are we going to see Bo Dallas be the Fiend? I'm not fully convinced that's the case yet. I kind of feel that the Fiend may have been kind of Bray Wyatt's thing, but we don't know what's lined up. But this is being very well done. I'm quite happy as a Bo Dallas fan. I'm glad he's getting the response I've been wanting to for years, despite the circumstances that's happened for him. And I'm just kind of wondering what's going to happen here. Chad Gable actually does try and get Otis back on side. He goes to Otis in Canteen, and Otis is like, it's not my problem, it's your problem. And Chad's like, they could go after you, Maxine, and Tozawa next. So he is still trying to get the Alpha Academy on his side. It does make you wonder if they will go after the rest of the Alpha Academy next, or are the Creed brothers going to be the ones to help Chad Gable? We'll have to see, won't we? But this is the sort of bit that interests me most at the minute in the wrestling, is what's going to happen. I'd be interested in seeing how they wrestle at some point as well. I'm hoping. And I will have to get myself a Wyatt Six shirt at some point, some merchandise of theirs. I would love that. I suppose the next thing to talk about will be the Judgment Day stuff again. You see Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio in the corridor. He informs Dominic, I spoke to Rhea and she is pissed off. It's like we're saying, this Liv Morgan stuff is probably going to play off when Rhea Ripley comes back. And Dominic claims it's not his fault all this is happening with Liv. He doesn't want anything to do with it. He's claiming that again. They go into a Judgment Day locker room and Liv's there with Finn Balor, JD McDonough and Carlito. As she's going, she wishes Daddy Dom good luck in his match against his father, Rey Mysterio, later on in the night. Basically. Damian Priest has a discussion with Finn Balor. Finn Balor doesn't seem to like the fact that Damian Priest said the other week that Judgment Day need him more than he needs them. But Damian Priest seemed to stand by what he said the other week. He's like, well, it's true. It's like when Rhea was champion, we needed her more than she needed us. Finn Balor just at the end is like, you've changed. It seems there's going to be a lot of friction in Judgment Day, I think. Later on in the night, we get Selena versus Liv Morgan. Ends up with Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio coming out ahead of their match, basically. There's a shave your mustache chant again at Dominic because of the mustache is going to, along with the mullet, it's trying to look like Eddie Guerrero because of the I'm Your Pappy stuff, I think. Liv retains. Dominic Mysterio is messed up again. He threw a chair in. It's in front of Selena. She uses it on Dominic, but it ends up helping Liv Morgan win when she gets rolled up, basically. So Mammy's gonna be pissed off still. When Dominic does fight Rey Mysterio, we get more shave your mustache chance. Liv does save Dom at one point from a 619. But here's a bit of a spot where they're put in a precarious situation. Dominic's on top of her. Liv looks like she's really enjoying it. But the commentators did note that Dominic is not trying to get off exactly. Again, Mummy will be pissed off. Zelina does come out and has a little fight with Liv. Ray manages to get the win in the end, though. There's Liv Morgan messed up bad here. She's hoping to get Dominic on side. She's knocked into the ropes, and there's just one of the spots where his legs are opened up as he falls down onto the ropes at the turnbuckle. And at that point, Rey Mysterio gets advantage of the match and wins. Liv follows him, saying, "I'm sorry, I can fix this." So we'll have to see what happens next week. But I don't think it'll be very cordial towards Liv Morgan on Dominic's side. But as far as the Judgment Day, I can see it going a couple of ways. Basically, one thing that could happen is Liv Morgan going to be part of a new Florida Judgment Day, because Dominic, like I said before, Dominic and Rhea, they've got like star power on their own now. So is it going to be like JD Madonna, Finn Balor, Liv Morgan, Dominic, and Carlito? Complete change in a few of the characters. If Dominic does fall for her, he could have a fallout with Rhea Ripley, and be sided with Liv Morgan, maybe. Or is there secretly something between Finn Balor and Liv Morgan? But all we know is that there's a lot of tension at the minute and a lot of different stuff happening. We do also see Seth Rollins come out at one point. Basically, there's some prophecy and saying it's a sign he will get the championship at Money in the Bank at the weekend. He's also going to take Priest from the Judgment Day, says. That's to do with the tensions and fallout that's happening there. Finn Balor does come out. It's like, it doesn't like things are changing. What it means to be in the Judgment Day is changing, and Priest is changing. Again, it's all of that, isn't it? It's this tension in the Judgment Day. I think the way it is, it's not going to be this Judgment Day that we've known for years, much longer. They try and beat, when Priest comes out, they try and beat Seth Rollins down, but they're both beaten down by the end of that. So we find out who the last two qualifiers for the Money in the Bank are. So we've got Dakota Kai versus Zoe Stark versus Ivy Nile. Ivy looked pretty good in this match, I think. They described it as explosive. She managed a double German suplex. Imagine, she doesn't look very tall, but she's like me, she's not very tall, but she's got a lot of strength. Not that I'd try a double German. But, however, it's Zoe Stark who ends up qualifying for the Money in the Bank match. So at the weekend, it will be Naomi, Tiffany Stratton, Chelsea Green, Io Sky, and Lyra Valkyria and Zoe Stark, all competing for that briefcase to cash in their title shot whenever they want it. As far as who I think is going to win, I'd be very impressed if it's Chelsea Green. But I think Piper Niven would have to give her some assistance there if she does. But it'd be very interesting to see a Chelsea Green as a Money in the Bank winner. But I think they'll either want to boost Tiffany maybe or Lyra Valkyria. Lyra Valkyria has been on a roll lately, so she's probably the favourite in the literal sense. But it will be interesting to see somebody like Chelsea Green with a briefcase. And the last match was McIntyre versus Ilya Dragunov versus Sheamus. We see also that McIntyre still has CM Punk's bracelet with the name of his dog and his wife on it. which is given to Michael Cole at commentary through the match. They do keep mentioning the darkness within Dragunov. It does make you wonder if there'll be plans to make Ilya a bit of a heel in the future, Ilya Dragunov. I could see that working. I could actually see him pulling off a heel character. And he did actually look quite impressive. But McIntyre is the one who advances in the match by pinning Sheamus. So their Money in the Bank will be LA Knight, Chad Gable, Carmelo, Jey Uso, Andrade, and Drew McIntyre. My personal route for would be Drew McIntyre. He's sort of a favourite. Could Chad Gable win it and the Wyatt Six chase him afterwards? You know, carry on that Wyatt Six storyline. Who knows? Jey Uso could be a good winner actually as well, but I personally would like to see McIntyre win. Maybe he can because it was a cash-in that cost him when Damien Priest ran out. Once CM Punk had beat him at that time, there would be some kind of retribution for Drew McIntyre if he could cash in successfully soon. But then would CM Punk make sure he couldn't cash in successfully, basically. What else do I want to talk about? They bigged up Sami Zayn and Bron Breakker. Sami Zayn understands the feeling that Bron Breakker will kind of smash through him, but he's overcome a lot as an underdog and he can do it. Bron Breakker does come out again. Bron Breakker says if he thinks he can win, he has no idea what he is in for. When he challenged him for the Intercontinental title, when Sami Zayn offered to give him a chance at the title, and Sami Zayn kind of rebuttals that by saying, if you think you're going to win, you haven't done your homework, you haven't seen how I can overcome obstacles and beat bigger guys. Bone Breakker just basically snaps and Sami Zayn is beat down, which will upset a lot of his fans. I think my nephew's one, but he doesn't watch a lot of the wrestling with me, unfortunately. I think that is kind of the most important points from Raw this week. I hope these are getting more interesting as I'm getting more used to doing it. I'm still thinking how I can improve that video quality, what I can do to get more views and interest. But I appreciate any watchers. Please, if you've got a YouTube yourself, subscribe, like, share, everything that does to boost me. And thank you. And I hope to record again soon.